Stranger Things is really a woke PSYOP beyond anything else. It is the number one streaming film in the world. And honestly, I went back and I watched Stranger Things, season one, first couple episodes, just to remind myself and refresh myself on this. They inserted the woke back then, 2015. Like, they inserted the gay stuff with Will. It was all in the first episode. They had a weird feminist thing going on. They had a weird anti-white male characters going on. It was the same thing that Netflix does with everything, starting way back then. It was buried in there. And here's the thing that Stranger Things does that that other shows don't. A lot of these propaganda shows, of course, like Star Wars, The Acolyte, or these films that fail, some of the MCU stuff, are so overt in just their campiness in the way that they handle their social agenda, right? And so it makes it easy to spot and destroy those. Captain Marvel was very easy because it's like, when you have her beating up, Ronan and other males with I'm Just a Girl playing in the background, it's really cringeworthy. With The Acolyte, when they're actually lecturing you on pronouns in it, it's really cringeworthy. So it's easy to just say this is terrible writing, this is propaganda, right? But propaganda does not necessarily mean it's badly executed. And actually, the propaganda that's effective is very well executed. And Stranger Things is well executed propaganda, which makes it harder to criticize and makes it harder to get people actually talking about and doing something about because it is well executed. And what that does is the normie sort of middle audience comes in for it and they'll just ignore it. They'll be like, yeah, it's woke, but it's good. And it's like, oof. And that's really, really hard to fight. And that's why a lot of people have bowed out of the culture war in these spaces in the last year or so. Hollywood has learned. They haven't learned to get rid of their woke messaging. Woke is not dead. They've learned to actually write it a little better and a little subtler into their stuff. And they've also learned not to give press tours going out there throwing fits about MAGA and the like as these shows are coming out. Because if they do that, it makes it very easy to latch onto and just make a cause out of to not see the show. And now there's not that thing going on. So what do we do about this? I don't even have a great answer here, but a lot of people are talking about this, and let's get into this in the description below as I cover all things in your real science fiction news here. Thank you for being here. Hit the like and subscribe button. I'm a sci-fi writer myself. If you like my thoughts on storytelling, you want to start a difference, the best way to do so, this is my new trilogy of sci-fi books. It starts with The Soul Catcher, the crew of the EAS Valiant under command of Captain Christopher Conley, a strong male lead, who is going and exploring strange new worlds, finding the sense of wonder in the universe, and of course defending humanity. It's great stuff. It is what sci-fi used to be, and it's the type of stuff Netflix would never produce into a book. So I've got a full trilogy on ebook to make it easy for you, but I do also have some beautiful hardcover editions that you can pop us over 9K today if one of us gets in on this, and I appreciate you guys for supporting this. We've only got 3 days left on this, and I don't want you to miss this excellent storytelling. Like I said, this is the difference, and the support all starts here. We got to build this. This stuff starts to build. Then Hollywood can't ignore it, right? And that's exactly what we have to get going. Thanks for being here. Grab that in the description below. So Stranger Things is number one show in the world, 59.6 million views. It boasts the biggest premiere week ever for an English language show in the history of Netflix. It's pretty crazy just how big this got so fast. And this is after years of delays, after, of course, season one, excellent. Season two kind of went downhill. 3 and 4 went pretty woke. And it still doesn't matter because people keep watching. And this is the thing about streaming. They keep watching season one over and over again, for like a lot of years, right? And so the fan base that grows up that is waiting for this ends up getting pretty huge over the years. And that's exactly what happened here. Now, Matthew Marsden, who is a Christian conservative actor who's now blacklisted, he was in Amazon Prime's Reacher. He actually made a comment about this, which is pretty interesting and why I'm talking about this. He said, I said last week, Stranger Things would be number one show in the world. I got laughed at. I don't know who's laughing at that. Everybody knew this was going to be number one in the world. He says, almost like I know what I'm talking about. I think about the message the show puts out. And this is very important. The message is pretty woke and how famous the actors are now and how that will help them fund their own projects moving forward. Not one conservative among them, which is the point. And that's very much the Netflix point out of here. We know that one of the actors out there was funding trans charities. I covered that the other day. Noah Schnapp got groomed into a homosexual lifestyle from this. And from episode 1, the mom actually talks about it, and she goes, he's kind of queer, as a kid, right? And they likened which is another insidious thing, playing Dungeons and Dragons and being a nerdy type of person with being an LGBT, and they try to correlate that very, very intentionally. And don't get me started on Dungeons and Dragons, the board game tabletop industry, how they've co-opted that over there and removed normal people from stuff through all this psyoping that's going on. It's very much the point, as he says here. And then, of course, we have the lesbians in it. We have the woman, and we did a video the other day about how she cheered on the fact that her sister got aborted. Absolutely sick stuff coming out of these actors. It's like the demons from Stranger Things actually took them over, right? It's pretty crazy. And that's it. Meanwhile, conservative content creators cannot get a fraction of funding of one of the episodes to make our own non-woke content. It's very true. We do not have a plan past the next election, and that's utterly pathetic. And that's it. The conservatives do not have a fight for the culture war whatsoever. And I've been trying to build that over here. We've got a great community. It's small, but it's building. And we have a Discord newsletter. Make sure to sign up. This is how we actually build this. But I need, more than myself doing this. And I wish there was something out there that there was more reaching out. And I wish someone like Matthew Marston would reach out because, gosh, imagine how we combine forces. But it seems to be like a lot of what we have is there's so much individualism going on that nobody really can coalesce and build together. And it's a really sad thing that's going on. And that's something that we are facing today. Now, I got to remind you how woke this is. Now, this is something that's going on. You see this here with this actress right here, the Stranger Things actress. She's obviously on Ozempic. The Ariana Grande disease. These skinny actresses try to get even skinnier, and it's really sad. She looks sickly. It's really bad what they're doing and what's happening with this. And this is an epidemic. These drugs that these women are injecting into themselves to lose weight. Amy Schumer's done it, and she was huge, so she looks pretty good now. But all of them are doing it because they just want to be even skinnier, and it's creepy. And it does ruin them. You could tell. I think the same thing happened with the Wednesday actress on Netflix as well. And this is an epidemic that's happening with the women in the culture that's pushing things to an extreme and, of course, being very, very unhealthy for them. But you get into it and you look at how they're cheering for this. Like you see, this is one of the woke people. The number one show in the world has a gay boy save the day by accepting his queerness with the help of a lesbian. There it is, guys. This is the message of Stranger Things. This is exactly what Marston was talking about right here. He does. This is the whole thing. He accepts it. He becomes gay over the course of things. And, of course, the lesbians are all a big part of it as well. And that's how the first step is getting you to accept the lesbians, because there's a lot less of a visceral reaction to lesbians than there are to the other way around. And the reason is because, of course, they made it into a thing in the 90s to get guys excited by that and watching that in their little Skinamax movies and the like. You even see it in stuff like Fast and the Furious. You have the girls kissing to make the guys excited, right? And so that's how they normalized that. And then once they did that, they shoehorned the other stuff. Once you got to the accept that, you're boiling like a frog in water here. And this is what it is now. And this is what Noah Schnapp himself got groomed into this lifestyle. He was just a little kid when this started, but because of the influence of Hollywood in the show, he decided to go this direction with his life. And you can see it just in the imagery here. This is where it is with Sadie Sink. You can see the big rainbow flag in the background that they put in here. And this is it. Music has a way of finding you even in the darkest of places. So they don't say things directly. They're not out there going like Pride Parade, but they put it in the background like this. They put it into the characters. They subtly do it. And like I said at the beginning of this video, the way that Hollywood's doing things now is a subtle propaganda. And that subtle propaganda is why they're actually winning the culture war, while conservatives went back to sleep because Trump won the election, and so they all declared woke is dead, and that's it right now. But it's still going on. The propaganda of the LGBTQ stuff is as strong as ever. You can't even name a show without it existing in it now, and that's crazy because if they're 1-2% of the population, they should be in 1 or 2% of the shows, right? It shouldn't be in everything, but it is. The whole replacing of white people is still a big deal in everything, right? And this is exactly what they try to do. The way that they push this through right here is the propaganda, and good propaganda is the scariest of all because that's what actually manipulates people. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. What do we do about it? How do we actually get people to wake up and notice this stuff? Because it's very, very difficult when the propaganda is good. I'd love for you to check out my Valiant Frontiers. This is my answer to science fiction, and I think if you like classic science fiction with real heroism and the like, this is where it starts. This is where we got to support. Thank you guys for being here. We'll be back soon.